So following NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, which was a phenomenal show, probably their best production to date since NXT Revolution, and I'm not discrediting all the other NXT TakeOver events, but our Revolution and Brooklyn 3, they are simply phenomenal. While all the other pay-per-views were amazing, I still label those two as the most phenomenal takeovers they ever created. So, afterwards, Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly attacked newly crowned NXT champion Drew McIntyre, which I'm proud of him winning the title, making his 3MB days look very like a distant memory. After they had also attacked Sandy the previous night with just O'Reilly and Fish, this group was eventually dubbed the Undisputed Era, and I gotta be honest, that's not the best name they could have come up with. Okay. Why? Okay, this group is based off of Ring of Honor. It was reported that they wanted to form this group based off of Ring of Honor, so why not just call them the Undisputed Purists? Like, they're a group of people who do not take gimmicks, who don't do gimmicks. They're just a bunch of ass kickers who are known to be very pure wrestling based. And while that is contradictory to the fact that NXT is more pure wrestling based than it is gimmick based, though of course they do have gimmicks, it would have made more sense and would have fit the theme they're going with here. But yeah, I don't get why they called it the Undisputed Era. They could have called it the Undisputed Purists or the Purists. But yeah, afterwards Sandy turned face, surprisingly. And, okay, when I heard that Sandy had turned face, I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. Could it work? Could it not work? Like, Eric Young, WWE hired him because Eric Young could do anything, and considering that he played Insane Madman in TNA, I'm pretty sure that counts for something. But, like, I don't know the other two members, but Nikki Cross, she was sort of a breakout star in Sandy, and she works well as a heel. She did phenomenal. I'll be talking about Asuka and Nikki Cross's last woman standing match at a later date. But, yeah, I was like, man, that's kind of strange. So, Adam Cole was set to debut after they had made a series of attacks towards Drew McIntyre, towards Sanity, and towards the United Kingdom division, except for Pete Dunne. He is God of the Bruiserweight division. Adam Cole was scheduled to make his debut against Eric Young, and this might honestly be the closest we get to TNA versus Ring of Honor. Since, think about it, Adam Cole is a 3-time Ring of Honor World Champion who has the most reigns in Ring of Honor with that belt. And Eric Young, well, he was an underdog in TNA and one of their TNA Legends mainstays. But now he's in and now they're both contractually part of WWE, which means they could go at it. So, yeah, at the beginning of the show, William Regal announced the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship. Kairi Sane, being the winner of the Mae Young Classic, would be one of the women competing. And it's already been revealed who the other two are, Ember Moon, and I'm trying to remember the other name, but they haven't revealed the fourth one yet. But moving on. Sandy starts off the show by basically coming through the crowd. Yeah. And Eric Young has a microphone in hand, and he threatens the group of the Undisputed Era and how they are going to take Adam Cole to the edge of sanity. And I'm thinking, okay, that was a good promo, but they didn't really write the book on chaos. If anything, the NWO did that. Because if any faction could bring down an entire company to the point of bankruptcy, yeah. Sanity's only been around for a year, and let's be honest, when they get to the main roster, they're probably not going to be the same. So I'll just enjoy it for as much as I can. And also, the other confusion I had was, well, I'm trying to remember. There was another member, Sawyer Fulton, I think his name was. he is considered still part of the group to an extent, at least in WWE 2K18, even though he's out of action. So is he coming back? And if so, when? Like, he's injured, but I don't know what happened to him. He just sort of went off the grid. So, yeah, Adam Cole is threatened, and Eric Young drops the mic as the crowd chants their name. And like I said, I really love the crowd just taking everything and making a chant out of it. It's just so fun and entertaining. It reminds me of ECW. So, also, here's the thing. Nigel McGuinness and Mauro Ranallo and whatever his name was, the other guy who's with them, I haven't watched NXT in a while. So I don't watch the tape shows. I just watch the other show. I just watch the takeover events. But, yeah, I was honestly expecting, actually hoping, that Nigel McGuinness would bring up Adam Cole when he, during Global Wars, joined up with a certain faction that WWE made a blatant copy that failed miserably to such phenomenal extent. I thought for sure they would bring that up and explain how it caused so much misery. Like Nigel McGuinness would be to Adam Cole what JR was to Vince. Like remember at WrestleMania 22, JR was very biased for Shawn Michaels to beat the holy hell out of Vince. And considering what Vince McMahon has done to him real life-wise in the years and in storyline, yeah, he had it coming. Especially making fun of his condition JR has. After saying he would never do that, what he did. So, yeah, Adam Cole should have been like what Vince was to JR, but this time to Nigel McGuinness. Though, I get the feeling they're going to save that probably for the Young Bucks if they ever come to WWE. But if so, I would really love to see Nigel McGuinness act like JR was to Vince McMahon. That actually would have been fairly interesting, and I would have actually loved that idea. So, after Adam Cole makes his way to the ring for the main event, also known as Adam Cole Baby, he goes ahead and states his statement stating how did NXT survive without them. Yeah. And then says that he, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly are untouchable, they are unstoppable, and they are undisputed, and this is our era. And then he waits for the match for the Sandy members to arrive. And I looked at the time. This match was only 7 minutes in length. Yeah, I was honestly disappointed by that. Like, what we got was okay, but I really would have loved this match to at least encompass 15 minutes. And you can't make the argument that, oh, well, they're on TV, therefore they have restrictions and whatnot, like SmackDown does. No. WWE Network is WWE's product. Therefore, they can go as long as they want. They've even acknowledged that at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1, where they mentioned Finn Balor and Kevin Owens main eventing the show that they were past their time, and they said, well, this is our network, we can do whatever we want. So, really, no one can make that excuse. So, yeah, with the length of time it was given, it was great, but like I said, I really would have loved a much longer match, especially it being Adam Cole's debut, and plus people probably have nowadays dreamed of Ring of Honor versus TNA, since, well, it's Ring of Honor and TNA, the two top promotions in the number 2 slot, and TNA looks like it's going to be off the map soon, but yeah, they could really do one final storyline with each other and try to prove who's number 2 at this spot. Like, let's just do that. But they're probably never going to work together ever again. So, Eric Young was great. Adam Cole was great. And something really just felt like, okay, a little bit of it was missing. Something about Adam Cole was missing. Like, I hope to see it later down the road, but it doesn't feel like he's being the Adam Cole I remember in the independent scene, who was very over the top with his attitude. Like, we got hints of it when he keeps doing the point fingers in the air and yelling out, Adam Cole, baby! But I don't want to see a more I could take a serious Adam Cole, but at the same time, I really love the over-the-top Adam Cole. Like, he just exuded arrogance and overconfidence. Like, it was just so hilarious with him, especially with the chemistry he had with the Young Bucks. Especially their epic six-man tag team match with, I'm trying to remember their names. It was in the Independents. They had Evan Bourne, but his name is Matt Sindel. Where the Young Bucks go ahead and one of the members do that jumping around in the ring, and then when Adam Cole, and then like when the Young Buck member did an axe handle on somebody, the last member of the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole just freaked out and like going into a euphoric attitude. Like, that was what really made me like those three, especially Adam Cole and Bullet Club, because they know it's crazy. They know this is crazy, so let's just have fun with it as much as we can. And especially since this is part of their identity. But now WWE, I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they'll allow Adam Cole to go over the top. But there is a bit of interesting thing about Adam Cole. He's a small wrestler compared to Drew McIntyre, and we rarely ever get the bigger wrestler being the good guy and the heel being the smaller guy. Yeah, especially, like, in WWE, we had exceptions. We had The Big Show, we had The Great Khali, we had Kane, and we had The Undertaker. The fact that I mentioned The Great Khali should say something. So, yeah, we had those four giants, probably more like Andre, but then he eventually turned heel. But, yeah, but I'm not talking about, like, giant wrestlers, more like just bigger than them. So like, that was actually pretty unique for me. So, okay, Adam Cole escapes with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, Sanity regroup in the ring while we get a replay of what went down. Adam Cole and his buddies just grin on the stage as the show comes to a close. So, the plan, from what I've heard, is going to be Adam Cole versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I thought that was not a good idea. Like, I'm not denying that they could do a good match. It's just, isn't it a little too soon? Like, Drew McIntyre just won the title, and I don't want to see Adam Cole lose a major match like this. And I really would love to see Adam Cole hold the belt. But at the same time, wouldn't it have made more sense if Roderick Strong was in this match? Like, it seemed like they were going with that direction with Roderick Strong and Drew McIntyre, especially after what happened in Brooklyn. But then when Adam Cole joined in, I thought, they're going to do a triple threat match. That's actually interesting. That's going to be awesome. But no, it's said from reports that it's going to be a singles match with Adam Cole and Drew McIntyre. So, wait, did Roderick Strong just disappear? Like, I don't recall him getting injured or anything, but yeah, I would prefer to have seen that triple threat match. In fact, he wasn't even on the show with the Adam Cole Eric Young match. So, yeah. And also, I'm curious, what does Adam Cole think of the whole WWE suing his buddies, the Young Bucks, over the trademark gesture that they can't legally own, because that would be fucking stupid if someone actually tried to trademark that? Oh wait, Vince is stupid, he tried to trademark that. And I would be a little offended a bit if someone called me a sports entertainer, since I just spend most of my time in the independents as a wrestler. Like, yeah. Like, granted, Adam Cole was very over-the-top entertaining during his time in the independents, but especially when it was near the end. But, yeah, could they just name-drop wrestler? Like, Vince doesn't even watch NXT. So, yeah, this match was great, but it was sad that it wasn't given enough time like I was hoping it would get. But, my main area of concern is, like, what does the future hold? Like, it's been reported that Fish and O'Reilly would be fighting Sanity for the NXT Tag Team titles, and the Authors of Pain would return and get involved, making it a triple threat match. So why can't they do a triple threat main event? So, yeah. And also, well, I'm pretty sure everyone has said this at this point, but I would like to see Sandy fight the Wyatt family if they ever get back together, provided that they get back on the same brand, on one of them at least. The original three, versus you could bring in the other member of Sandy that was injured, so you could add all 4 members of the Wyatt family, and Nikki Cross. They could find a female member of the Wyatt for the Wyatt family and bring her in, and they could do all that. That would be awesome. Especially Nikki Cross is just so entertaining as the psychotic, crazy woman who should really be locked in a straitjacket. Though, something tells me I wouldn't be surprised if they take out the word Nikki because there's already a Nikki on the main roster. Just call her Cross, because that would just be confusing, because we think fans are too stupid to tell the difference between Nikki Bella and Nikki Cross. Hell, I'm pretty sure Nikki Bella would wish she could make a Who Owns the Name Nikki as a storyline. If they really did that, I would just quit after that. So, yeah. The Undisputed Era, like I said, not a good name. They should have been called the Purists or the Undisputed Purists. And Sandy was awesome as always. And the main event was great. Just sad it was not as long as it could have been. And I'm really curious of what's going to happen in NXT TakeOver Houston. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be hella fun. But I really wish, and I hope, that they do a triple threat match between Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Drew McIntyre in order to protect Adam Cole, because, let's be honest, Roderick Strong, he could take a fall, I'm pretty sure. But Adam Cole, he just started out, and he's already being put in the main event. Is already being put in the main event of the show, and he's only been on there for like 3 months at the time of NXT TakeOver Houston. Also, I just remembered, I thought they were first going to target Aleister Black. Like, the Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly made their debuts losing to Black, so wouldn't it make more sense, by some logic, that they go after Aleister Black? But no, they're not doing that. They're doing it with Patrick from Tough Enough. So, yeah, that's going to happen. So, yeah, those were my thoughts on Adam Cole versus Eric Young in NXT 2017. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more. And welcome, everyone, to WWE Month.